Hey friends, let's make a delicious, yummy, and moist meatloaf. We're going to start off by using 2 pounds of ground turkey. You can use ground beef if you would like to, but I have the alpha-gal syndrome, so I have to use ground turkey. And I do use the ground turkey in the roll and also fresh ground turkey. So 2 pounds. And then we are going to add a half a pack of these crackers. I try to add as little amount of crackers that I can get away with, but ground turkey has less fat in it, if any at all, and it does not stick together as well and hold together as well, so you are going to probably need the whole entire sleeve of crackers. Now, if you're using ground beef, that may not be the case. I like to go ahead and mix it together with the crackers when I'm using ground turkey because that way I know that it's going to be firm and stick together. Now we are going to add 1 whole yellow bell pepper diced and 1 whole small yellow onion diced. And then about a half a cup of ketchup, and I'm guessing. And then I've got some Heinz 57. I'm going to add probably a 1/4 cup of that. We are going to add a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, about a 1/4 cup of milk, add 1 egg. Now let's give this a good mix. And I decided that I'm going to add just a little bit more Heinz 57 sauce for good measure because I'm making a turkey meatloaf and it just, again, gives it a great flavor. Once you've got this thoroughly mixed together, I'm going to show you a trick to make the perfect meatloaf shape. Just use a loaf pan. And then once you get half the mixture in here, if you wanted to add some cheese in the middle, at this point, you could do that. And then, of course, you would put the other half of the meatloaf mixture on top of that. And then you would have a cheesy meatloaf. I have done that, and it works out great. But now we're just going to fill this pan full, and then you're going to pack it in there. Now we're going to drop this meatloaf right in the middle of a 9 by 13 baking dish, and we're going to pour about 1 inch of water around this, lift it off. At this point, you can take your hands and round the corners because the corners are square from that loaf pan and shape it the way you want to. And the reason I poured the water around this is a trick taught to me by my aunt many, many years ago, is because that is what's going to keep your meatloaf very moist. Just trust me on this. Give it a try. You'll never make a meatloaf any other way if you do this. And then I just put a piece of aluminum foil on top very lightly. And then we are going to cook this on 350 degrees for 1 hour. Then after about 45 to 50 minutes later, go ahead and take that aluminum foil off. And we're going to continue to let this bake. And 1 hour later, pull this out of the oven and we're going to pour that liquid off of it. I like to put ketchup on top of mine, just plain ketchup. Now my mama, she actually puts ketchup with just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and sprinkles brown sugar on top. And she uses less than a teaspoon of brown sugar when she does that. And you can overpower it with that brown sugar. And I think a lot of people do the glaze that way. But again, I like the ketchup. Then once you've got your ketchup or whatever you're going to put on top of your meatloaf on it, and I like to make sure it's on the sides as well. Now back in the oven we go on broil. And this does not even take 5 minutes. Stick with this. Don't walk away. And voila. Less than 5 minutes later, this meatloaf is ready to be served. My aunt taught me how to make meatloaf, and she makes the best meatloaf in the world. And this is always so moist and just slices up so great.